Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. Like lots of other people, I've been having a look at this flat earth stuff after watching some videos online and doing some research on what I've found now seems to be NASA contradicting themselves as to the curvature of the earth. Now I'm going to start us off here in good old Darling Park, Sydney. So we're not the only people who have noticed. It's down in Australia. If you do a little search on Darling Park, you'll see that we not only have flat earth clocks, but we have flat earth fountains, big lovely flat earth flowers to sit them in the middle of, and some nice big pyramids next to them too. So I'm not the only person who's noticed that the earth's flat down under. They've also noticed, look, in the Sydney Morning Herald, mate, Struth, the map from above shows Australia is a very flat place. Here's Australia as we know it, and we're talking about the whole continent, so I'm just going to give you a quick, this is just a Google Australasian map search, and these are maps of Australasia. You can see surrounding islands, it's the same in all of them. Well, I say it's the same in all of them, but the arrangement of the islands isn't quite the same, but they're all there, okay. But as we've all noticed, maps don't follow themselves, don't all agree with each other as to exactly where stuff is. But this is Australia, 2,050 miles from Darwin to Sydney, across, okay. It looks familiar, so the Sydney Morning Herald, but this is no ordinary map. It's part of the most detailed topographic map of the world ever made, according to the US Space Agency, NASA. And it then goes on to say that for 11 days in February 2000, the Space Shuttle Endeavour circled the world, using a sophisticated radar to chart all the land between 60 degrees north and 56 degrees south. Now they did map 80% of the Earth's land, but rather than go from a third party, we'll go straight to the horse's mouth, or the horse's arse in this case. And on the NASA website, we'll need to go to their Jet Propulsion Laboratory page, as it is a space shuttle mission. Why they call it that, because it's not a shuttle and it doesn't go into space, obviously. Anyway, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, on their page, NASA goes down under for shuttle mapping mission finale. 4 years of processing data it took NASA and the Geospatial Intelligence Agency. Who? Geospatial Intelligence Agency. The G.I.A, dude, watch out. The G.I.A are on our case. Anyway, it was the most extensive global topographic map of the world ever made. And before we go to the truth that I have discovered, I'm just going to move this down a little piece and show you what NASA say themselves about this. This is among the most significant science missions the shuttle has ever performed, and it's probably the most significant mapping mission of any single type ever. And the final data release covers, as I say, they mapped 80% of the world, but the final data release covers Australia, New Zealand in an unprecedented uniform detail, and more than 1,000 islands. So it tastes good too. Lovely bit of dressing, much Polynesia, Melanesia, as well as the South Pacific and Atlantic Oceans. Now, just bring our attention back to the top of the page, because what they say here, which will completely contradict everything we know, let's have a look first of all again at that map of Australasia, flat there, and we're going to go to Google Earth, and here's the same area. So we've got New Zealand down here at the bottom, we've got lovely bit of dressing across the top there in the 1,000 islands, and here's Australia. And as I say, the distance we're looking at across Australia here is from Darwin across to Sydney, roughly, is 2,050 miles, so just over 2,000 miles. Now the curvature on that should be over 25,000 feet. And as we can see here, that's way curved, dude, okay? Look, these big curvy lines going up here. This is a ball. This is not flat. So, okay, but there's no curvature here. Or rather, there is lots of curvature here. However, here, back in what NASA tell us about this survey, is that it's the world's smallest, flattest, and after Antarctica, driest continent. 3 million square miles, the 6th largest country on Earth. Its low average elevation of 300 meters or less than 1,000 feet, less than 1,000 feet. 6th largest country on Earth. 3 million square miles, curvature of less than 1,000 feet. Okay, now just take you back to Google Earth. That, across that, curves at less than 1,000 feet. This gets spookier because not only are the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, the G.I.A, on our case, but where have I got to? Okay, its low average elevation of less than 1,000 feet is caused by its position near the centre of a tectonic plate, where there are no volcanic or other geological forces of the type that raise the topography of other continents. So other continents, it's saying, their topography is raised due to geological forces or volcanical forces. So the rest of the Earth is curved, but Australia isn't because it's not subject to those. Okay, that's what it's telling us. Topography, Google search again. We're not talking about artificial features, so the arrangement of natural physical features of an area. Less than 1,000 feet. There are no volcanic or other geological forces of the type that raise the topography of other continents. So Australia is flat, they've mapped it, and it is flat because it's not subject to curvature. This is NASA telling us that it is not subject to curvature. Or at least that's what it says to me. Now, further to that point, I'm going to go to, back to Google Earth. That's what I'm going to do, because I'm going to now show you not only is there massive curvature here, whereas NASA has just told us there isn't, but this happens everywhere. I don't know if it's a Google Earth glitch or whether it's a global glitch, but have a look. This is the line 0 degrees. This is due north from sort of like Canberra, Sydney-ish down here. You do this on your ruler tool up there. I'm not going to do it because it's fiddly and it'll only get stuck if I'm trying to record it. That's 0 degrees north. Try it out for yourself. I'm not going to tell you anything anyway. You know, try it out for yourself. So that's the way to do these things. This is 90 degrees, okay? So keep this at 90 degrees, go around the Earth, and you should come and bump yourself in the back. Shoot a massive bullet far enough and it will hit you in the back, they say. Haha, well, first of all, it has to do massive detours like these every time you pause to turn the globe around, which I'll ignore, because the point that I noticed here was that is, if that's 2,000 miles across there, then that is also 2,000 miles across there, which what we're saying is that you do not come and meet up with yourself if you head at at 90 degrees from 0. And the same is true if you head at 270 degrees. Again, I'm not going to put it on the ruler at all, but I'll show you because I've tried it out. If you head due west from London, where do you think you're going to come to due west from London? Okay, well, I'll tell you. But first of all, I want to ask you another question. If you're going to head due west from down in the Cameroon, where are you going to get to? Okay, well, due west, go west from London and the Cameroon, will take you to here. Both places will land you over here. Now, I don't see how heading at 270 degrees, try this, go in there, go to the Cameroon, put 0 degrees and head at 270 until you get just past the Caribbean, and do the same from London, put your 0 degrees in, and go at 270 degrees to it, and they'll both end up in the same place. Okay, well, that makes no sense to me whatsoever. But as we have now established, Australia and the islands around it are flat. There is no curvature in Australia, and yeah, I don't know if there's a Google Earth glitch, but as far as I was aware, NASA and the US Navy all get their stuff from the same people, US Geological Surveys. Although I did understand that US Geological Surveys used the flat Earth map. I haven't followed that up, it's just something I've heard in videos. But the point I'm making today anyway is that picture there bears no relation to this information here. And NASA's excuse for this seems to be that its low elevation is caused by its position near the centre of a tectonic plate where no volcanic or other geological force of the type that raise the topography of other continents, that raise the arrangement of the natural physical features of other continents. And so if we pop back to Darwin Park in Australia, this is probably why. So thanks very much, NASA. That information has helped not in the slightest bit to clear this up, but it does contradict what you're saying. So take this information how you want, but thanks very much indeed for tuning in, and like all these other videos, please leave as many comments as you can. Thank you.